18. Tina has been in the back of an ambulance till the morning when the sun forces her to pass out. She wakes up, in what she hopes, is the next night after the surgery on another. She still has a blindfold on and is no longer in the back of a vehicle, being able to feel the area around her. She feels a large open area, like the open warehouse she's been taken to at least a few times. The air feels fresher, not like in a regular building, this is much more open. The place is lit up, she feels the warmth of the lights on her skin, and sees brightness coming through the blindfold, still not helping her see a thing. She is still in a stationary position, and straps wrap around her on a bed. After wiggling around a bit, feeling the bondage, she senses another presence nearby. A man's voice speaks quietly then louder after a few words to ease her into the surprise.
Evening girlie, you did impressive work, I have some blood for you, we'll let you rest tonight. In the sense, that we'll just be wanting information, not just bleeding you. You will be able to keep some of the blood we are allowing you to have tonight. See, we can be nice.
She wonders about the tone from him, she hasn't heard this new voice.
If we like your answers, you'll have a fine night of relaxation. If we don't like your answers so much, I will show you that we can be less nice.
I'll tell you what I can, but don't want to get into trouble. I don't know that much.
She hears the man step closer, grab her chin, turn her head to the side, and she feels the moisture of his breath on her cheek as he whispers.
Let's see where the questions take us, before we start hoping this won't get painful for you.
He lets her chin go. He starts.
So, you can do some crazy stuff with skin, muscle, bones, why can you do that, and we haven't heard about this sort of thing, can some of your kind do that?
She answers, shaking her head as little as she could, since it is held down.
No, it is very rare as a vampiric power. I got it from my creator, she was a terrible bitch.
The questioning tone lightens, as a deep chuckle comes from the interrogator.
I get it, so can you do other stuff with it? We know of a lot of different powers your kind can do, can you give that power to another? If we drink your blood.
Warning, warning. Alerts and alarms go off in her head. They would likely bleed her, and drink a bunch, just to get this power if she answers this wrong.
I don't think so, from what I have learned so far, only vampires can use the power, and with a bunch of practice, and blood to start. My maker said we are special to be able to do these things. She said a couple of times that people beneath her, which is what she called humans and ghouls, aren't able to use the gift. I have a setup to induce learning in the skill, because of a thing I had to do.
After seconds of silence.
Well, you know I'd be asking you about that. Don't make me.
I was kidnapped by these vampire bad guys, that included my maker, and they were doing this thing to a werewolf. You know those things are out there too.
Heck yeah we do, they give us trouble all of the time when we accidentally get into their territory. They are around, they hate vampires a lot, but they don't like humans much either. They think we are just ruining and destroying things, and anytime we are trying to hide somewhere secluded, we sometimes run into one, and where there is one, there is usually a pack. Sometimes they let us get out, sometimes they just get impatient, or don't even ask. Bunch of jerks really, but they are much harder to fight than vampires. They also don't live off of us, and haven't fed on, and controlled humankind for hundreds of years. Well, what did you do?
Not my creator, but I think it might have been her boss, did this thing where a bunch of bone spikes were coming out from the werewolf. Running into things would have had them doing a lot of damage, and they weren't natural. The werewolves demanded we remove them if we could. I learned over some time how to use the blood power I had to remove the bone. It would grow back when the werewolves removed them with weapons, to the extreme pain of the victim, like it was melded into its special healing and sticking out from the wolf's skin.
Damn, that is pretty messed up. Your kind really can piss people off. I mean, sure they hunt and manipulate humans, but irritating the wolves is plain dumb.
Tina senses some blatant animosity, and hopes for answers.
It wasn't on me, it was them. Why do you hate vampires?
'Cause your kind are pieces of dog shit. Here is the deal with you monsters.
Can you please stop saying, my kind? I just became one a year ago, and I couldn't help it.
He stands up and gets up closer to her, making her flinch, expecting a slap.
None of your kind wanted to be one, but that is how it always happens. It doesn't stop them all from becoming terrible. Vampires are a scourge on the planet. They manipulate, hunt, drink blood, and kill. We can defend ourselves against them. Other super beings out there aren't terrible to humans, but vampires are the worst. They force people to protect them, give them blood, give them money just by forcing them to, with their damn charms, or just kill them and pawn all of the stuff breaking into people's homes. They are a menace. Your kind is a menace.
The same things can be said about humans. We have taken over the planet, and claimed most of the resources for ourselves. The rich do it to the poor all the time, claiming lives and money. Humans just do it blatantly. I used to be poor working at a donut place where the owner of the chain made millions, and I barely scraped by on paying student loans. Now, I have done surgery to pull the bullet out of someone who was shot quite some time ago, and I am riding around in the private jet owned by a woman who runs companies. I might be drinking blood, but it has changed my life. This situation hasn't been the best advocate for your so-called defense of human life.
Yes, but vampires drink blood, manipulate humans with their powers. Some do disgusting things to humans playing their sick games. They hoard money and pay off the media and politicians to keep things quiet. They get caught so often these days but pay people to cover it up. Mass shootings on the innocent happen so often because of them, buying people's loyalty with their blood for powers or to charm humans. Bad things happen because of vampires.
Oh please, humans do the same thing, but usually it is more to cover up crimes they commit like fraud. The rich rarely go to jail, and if they do it is because they messed up, really bad, and then get a bad lawyer. Vampires don't corner the market on sex dungeons, mass murderings, assassinations, theft, and manipulation. Humans don't need prodding for all of that.
The man growls a bit and changes the subject.
Here. Shut up and drink some more blood.
He puts a tube in her mouth and she sucks on the tube. She has gotten used to being fed like this. She gets a bunch of air at first, but then slowly she starts to taste some blood. It is cold. Again, it doesn't taste the same that she has been drinking while with them. It has a taste to it that she couldn't describe, like it was healthy. Sort of. She has tasted a lot of people's blood, at first with some liquor at a party, then often from Zant's employees who were paid more to allow her to drink from them. This blood is tangy and has something different to it each time. It is warm and comes out easily if right from a human. This is different, and a lot of the same stuff. She moves the small tube to the side of her mouth a bit so that she could talk.
What is this blood you have been feeding me?
It is animal blood, from a butcher that we know. It might be a bit old by the time you get it. He accepts some meat from some hunters and cuts it up, others buy the meat, and we take the blood. We are getting off topic. We aren't here to debate this being a vampire stuff. Your boss, Sant, we know she owns companies, we don't know which ones. Tell us which ones.
I won't tell you something that will get my boss killed, or those who I have gotten to know.
Tisk, tisk. We have started to get along a bit here. Let me put your mind at ease. We aren't strong enough to go after well-protected vampires like her, but we do want to ruin their businesses so it is harder for them to make so much money. We don't want to hurt any of the people working for her, we just want to make her lose money.
How could I trust you with that? I don't know if you'll just kill them all.
That really isn't your problem right now, is it, Tina? Would they care this much about you? You should be worried about not answering my questions. That is one of the answers I am hoping for. Are you going to tell me, no, again?
The man is either standing or sitting near her legs. She expects him to stand up and walk up to her shortly. She answers,
I can't tell.
The next few words planned in her sentence leave her lips in a mumble, as her head is knocked to the side with a massive force, what feels like a sledgehammer against her face, rocking her prone head to the side. She has felt the sort of pain before, though. Her mind is bringing back a prolonged pain she has felt. A time that is fuzzy in her head is so much worse than this. This sharp hit shocks her brain, waking up her nerves all over, not just her face, but that side of her body feels like it is metaphorically on fire. Reflexively she tries to press her hand up against the strike, but since they were strapped down, she wasn't able to move. She hears a woman closer to her.
Some of the skin broke off. Maybe the brass knuckles were a bit much. Looks like that hurt. Maybe she is as dainty as she acts.
Brass knuckles? These people are not being cordial at all. Tina feels another sharp pain at her chin. She hopes she didn't hear a crack as her bottom jaw shot up to her upper jaw. The woman's voice near her head again.
Maybe that will prevent her from feeding on another human in the near future. Your kind have done far, far worse to humans over the centuries. You might not have been around, and it sucks this happened to you, but you were human recently. You would defend them, those that made you, as you are.
The man at her legs shoots a barb at the other.
We need her to be able to talk, and if she needs to spend blood to heal, it is sort of a waste, isn't it?
Tina moans a bit from the strike, trying to relieve a little pain, but her face is throbbing. Her hearing has been getting a bit better. She tries to tune out the pain, needing to try to concentrate more since she hasn't been able to see, not like some supernatural sonar, just that it is needed. The woman who has punched her shrugs, with a non-committal, probably. She rips out.
Don't know, but it makes me feel better.
She has been getting this feeling as she is listening, like something has become a little clearer when she concentrates. When it is a necessity, she is able to hear things a bit further away than usual. Not having the privilege of seeing anything makes this difference. The question comes out again.
You see what might happen if we aren't thrilled with your answers. We have been pretty polite with you till now, and helping us out with that surgery is more than most vampires would do, but killing a few more humans wouldn't do us any good. We have supernatural jerks to hurt, and if we can't hurt them directly, we can hit their bank account. Tell us about her company, and we'll be less difficult on you.
Tina isn't sure if she has much of a choice.